Shields up, Iron Breakers. Rurikhan here coming at you with another gameplay impressions video, and today we're going to be taking a look at Call of Duty Black Ops 3 for the PlayStation 4. This title was sent to me by Ecoplay so that I could give it a look and tell you guys my opinions on it. As you guys can clearly tell, this video is being recorded in post-commentary, mostly because it is pretty hectic playing Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and doing live commentary at the same time. So I figured I would be able to better express my opinion on Call of Duty Black Ops 3. You know, just having video playing in the background and me talking about my experience with the game so far. Now, for those of you that aren't aware of my work and, you know, the kind of videos that I usually tend to make, I would just like to mention ahead of time that I am not an extremely experienced Call of Duty player, as I don't tend to play Call of Duty for long stretches of time. I just like revisiting whenever it comes out and seeing what is different between the current iteration of Call of Duty and previous iterations that I have played. Now, having said that, I haven't really played Black Ops 2 for some reason. I've played Ghosts, I've played Advanced Warfare, and now I've played Black Ops 3. So, what is the thing when it comes to like the campaign and the story and whatnot? Because I will be talking about the single player experience, which in this case isn't actually just single player. You actually have co-op for the main campaign, which I think is a big plus in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, we're going to be talking about the campaign, we're going to be talking about the multiplayer, and we're going to be talking about the zombie mode, which is all of the things that you will be getting with this iteration of Call of Duty. So, starting with the campaign a little bit here, what is the different thing, let's say, for instance, from Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3? Well, Black Ops 3, your character goes through a traumatic experience where he is, I'm actually not going to spoil it, but let's just say he goes through a traumatic experience, and in order to fix him up, they hook him up with all kinds of like cyborg stuff. You get mechanical arms, mechanical legs, and you can do all kinds of nifty things as a result of that. As a matter of fact, you actually have progression as you go through the campaign, where you can level up different aspects of your character. You can unlock different weapons. You can put different, you know, you can customize your weapons differently as you progress through the game. But one of the things that they try to make you pick from are these cybernetic abilities that you get as a result of being in this, I almost want to say robot body, but technically it is your body with these cyborg enhancements. So basically you have all of these abilities that you can pick from, and they come from three distinct trees, right? You have your control tree, you have your martial tree, and you have your chaos tree. Each of these achieves different things, and they all give you different abilities. Now, these abilities recharge over time, and you can basically use these abilities by pressing L1 and R1. So that's an interesting thing that they did with that, because it kind of lets you pick different characters, which when you're playing in co-op with your friends, which, to be honest, haven't really done that because I don't know anyone else from my friends list that has been playing Call of Duty Black Ops 3 at the moment, so I've been pretty much playing solo. I played one or two matches online just to see how the campaign would play with other players, you know, co-op and whatnot. But I find it kind of neat that you could have, like, say, one player who specializes in the chaos tree and another player who specializes in the control tree, because the control tree is very much around, you know, taking down robots and whatnot, because there's robots. This game all takes place in the future and whatnot. There's these bipedal robots that are pretty beast, and they will kick your ass if you're playing in the higher levels of difficulty. So it would be pretty cool if you have one player like, okay, I'm going to master like melee attacks or something like that, and I'm going to just head on ahead and just wreak havoc behind enemy lines while you guys are, you know, controlling the battlefield, like taking down robots, covering me with chaos abilities, stuff like that. I find the kind of strategy that you can have behind that as you are doing the campaign to be somewhat satisfying. The problem that then comes from that is that the campaign is essentially still, in the most part, from what I've experienced so far, a corridor shooter. You're just going through, you know, it's not just a corridor, obviously, but you guys, I'm assuming you guys are familiar with the expression corridor shooter. You go through, you go from point A to point B, you kill a bunch of people. There's a couple of choices that you can make in the approach that you take, like, oh, I'm going to go up through the right side, or I'm going to go from below and through the center and whatnot. And choosing these different paths will give you more advantages or less advantages, but yeah, basically that, in a nutshell, is the campaign. You upgrade your character, you keep progressing through the campaign. The more you progress, the more points you get. You can eventually, I think, you should be able to unlock everything in your what do you call it, in your cybernetic abilities tree. And as you unlock all these different things, again, remember, you use the same points to unlock stuff on that tree that you will use to unlock, like, say, for instance, additional augmentations for your weapon and stuff like that. So you will have to decide, okay, I want to get a new weapon, or I want to get a new fancy ability. So those are kind of decisions that you will have to make. And the interesting thing that I found is that I think that having that progress throughout a campaign is pretty cool, and is particularly cool if you are able to play in co-op. So that, in my opinion, big props, because you guys know me, I'm a big fan of co-op, so having a co-op campaign, just big props. I really, really appreciate that. So as we are talking about co-op, we might as well go into the whole zombie mode thing that this game has as well. So with the zombie mode, it is, from what I could tell, your very typical zombie mode that I've seen in 1,000 other FPSs, to be completely honest. I couldn't really instantly identify any major differences. I mean, you get these things that you can activate on the walls. They have a spray painted the guns. You go there, you buy the guns, you have the defenses that you can rebuild as zombies are coming to you. And you kill zombies, you increase your score, and then they just keep coming progressively more and more zombies, and you can resurrect your teammates if they fall down. And there's also something that was different was the whole monster thing, where a player could become a monster or something. But, you know, overall, I kind of felt that this experience is very much like your typical zombie mode that I've seen, even in previous Call of Duty games. So if you're into that kind of stuff, this game has that as well. I don't know exactly how many maps you get, because, again, you know, my videos, gameplay impressions are mostly first impressions in a way. So I didn't delve too deep into the zombie mode because it's not really my style of game. I much would rather spend more time with the co-op campaign if I want a co-op experience, because it has got the progression systems and all that. And it's, I don't know, I just find that more satisfying than the zombie mode. But if you are into the whole zombie aspect of it, you'll know that that mode is there for you as well. And then we get on to, you know, the real meat and potatoes of Call of Duty, which is the competitive online multiplayer. Now, I've played a bit of this, and as you guys know, at least you should know, and I'm going to have a little bit of a debate now on this subject, which is I feel that Call of Duty multiplayer is probably one of the hardest. The competitive portion of it is probably one of the hardest multiplayers to get into if you are not a consistent Call of Duty gamer. Like if you're like a guy like me who floats around through thousands of games, RPGs, FPSs, like I was playing Destiny before I left for BlizzCon, then I came back from BlizzCon and started playing Sword Art Online Lost Song, which are two completely different games, and each game has their good things and their bad things. What I'm saying is that if you are floating through all these games that I personally tend to float, and then, I mean, if even beyond the spectrum that I just spoke of, Destiny to Sword Art Online Lost Song to Heroes of the Storm to Diablo 3 to friggin' StarCraft 2, which is one of the last videos that I've put on the channel even, there's a wide spectrum, and each of these requires different things from you. And Call of Duty really requires that you have lightning fast reflexes. It's mostly what you need to have. You need to be able to spot your enemies before they spot you, and you need to shoot them dead before they shoot you. And that leads to a lot of frustration when you are not a practiced player in this kind of multiplayer environment. Like, I came into the multiplayer, I was like level 1, and I was getting teamed up with people who were, I don't know, level 50, level 30 something, level 20 something. And I was a little bit frustrated, I'll be honest. I was a little bit frustrated because I was just getting gunned down left and right. It wasn't even a challenge for anyone to just gun me down because, again, it's all about, you know, knowing those maps, knowing where people are going to pop up from, you know, knowing the habits of each player and just having practice. And this was the first time that I was playing the game, which was, I started playing it on the 14th of November, which the game had been released a while back before that. I don't know exactly when this game was released, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure that there have been a lot of players playing already, considering the levels that they're at, and probably a whole bunch of people have already prestiged and all that. And yeah, and now you guys are just saying you're just making up excuses because you suck at Call of Duty. Well, I do suck at Call of Duty, I'll tell you that much. That is a fact. I killed a couple of people, and I got to play a little bit of it to kind of understand a couple of different game modes and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I'm still just cannon fodder. Like, anyone that would see me would be able to kill me easily unless I was able to spot them first. So my play style, as I was playing through these different multiplayer matches, is I just got the submachine gun and I try to go for the whole run and gun thing. So what kind of abilities do you have currently in the multiplayer of Call of Duty 3 Black Ops? Well, I noticed that you have a double jump for starters, which you already had kind of in Advanced Warfare. You have the wall running ability, but on top of all this, you also have, you still have the sliding thing. I don't think you had the dolphin dive, but it doesn't make that much sense, to be honest, because you can just do the sliding thing and still shoot people while you're sliding, so you don't really need the whole dolphin dive thing. But on top of this, you had all of these classes that you can unlock, from this archer class to this survivalist class, the prophet class. There's more classes than I can name. There were a ton of them. And each of them would have 2 abilities that you can unlock. And you unlock one at the start, and then you have to, like, you know, earn these unlock tokens by just playing through the game. And as you play through the game, you earn experience, you level up, or you no, you don't prestige. When you prestige is when you get to the level cap and then you start over. But you gain experience, you level up, and as you level up, you will gain these unlocks, which allow you to, you know, unlock additional classes if you so desire, so that you can try out different special abilities. And you guys are like, whoa, special abilities in Call of Duty? What is this? And it's almost like the Destiny Ultimate is the way it feels. It charges up as you are killing people, or even as you are being killed, and once it charges up, it lets you do something which is supposed to be quite unique. Now, the 2 classes that I've played as was the War Machine, the battery class, I think it's called, and I had kinetic armor, which, to be honest, I would highly advise, if you're a new player, don't start with battery kinetic armor, because it didn't really seem to make much of a difference on how fast people would kill me, even if I was to activate kinetic armor, so I would not advise that one. And then I played with the Prophet, who had this arc gun that supposedly chains to your enemies and whatnot, but it's hard for you to use that because you're used to, you know, you're playing through a match as with a submachine gun the whole time. Then suddenly you're like, hey, activate my super powerful ability. Now I have this lightning gun thing that takes time to charge. Just, it was a very big shift in the way that the class played. So I'm not sure I made the best choices there, but there are tons of other classes that you can have. There's the class where you get a bow, there's a class that you can see people through the map and whatnot, and there's a whole bunch of variety that you can get. Now, choosing a class also alters what your character looks like, and as you level up, you will unlock additional options for customizing how your character looks like, because that is obviously a big deal for Call of Duty players, having the, you know, their unique snowflake characters. And please note that I'm not saying this in a bad way. I mean, this is important in every game, that each player can express themselves and have their character look as badass as they desire. I'm just saying that that is one of the features that you can look forward to as you play more of your class. You will unlock like different headgear, you will unlock different armor that you can have, you will unlock different leg armor, different stuff for your arms. There's just a bunch of options that you can customize your character to the nth degree. And customization is the name of the game when it comes to multiplayer unlocks, because you can customize not only from an aesthetic aspect, which is what I was discussing now, you know, different headpieces for your character and whatnot, but you can also customize from a performance aspect to completely change the way that your weapons handle. Like, you can put on grips on your weapons, which is not necessarily new for Call of Duty. It's just, to me, it seems like it gets increasingly detailed as new iterations of the game come out. Like you had a whole bunch of stuff that you could basically do, like, okay, I'm going to add this sight to this weapon. I'm going to add like a freaking scope to a submachine gun if I want to, and then I can increase the recoil control of the weapon by putting a grip in the front, and I can do all these crazy things, increase how fast the weapon reloads and all that, and I can unlock this different weapon that has different fire rates, all that stuff. All of that is there for the weapons, for your character, for your kill streaks, just tons and tons of stuff. And beyond that, the more you level up, you will start earning these coins, which you can then kind of gamble onto these boxes. I'll be honest, I didn't earn enough coins because I was getting my ass completely handed to me. But you can get these like these care packages that you can buy off the black market or something, and they will have random items that you can get. And beyond that, I also think that every time you level up, every certain number of levels, you get a chance of getting a specific weapon, a random weapon, which already comes with different grips and different, it already comes customized for a specific purpose. Now, the thing about those weapons is that I don't think they level up. If I remember a briefing that I went to in Gamescom at some point, those weapons don't actually level up, unlike, say, for instance, your regular weapons. Your regular weapons will level up and will give you different options as they level up. Those weapons will come like fully leveled up with all these attachments, but you can't customize them. The weapons that you get when you level up your class and whatnot. So again, lots and lots of progression, and at the end of all that progression, you can just prestige and do it all over again, which is something that I'm sure a lot of Call of Duty players enjoy doing. Me, it just kind of feels a little bit pointless, if I'm to be completely honest. But again, I'm not the target audience when it comes to the Call of Duty franchise, so it's whatever, really. I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing. It's just like, it's whatever. If you enjoy that kind of thing, more power to you. This game obviously still has all of that stuff. And at the end of the day, it is, again, a lot of people will say, as a matter of fact, a lot of people have commented with me as I was playing the game, and it's like, it's just another one of those Call of Duty games. And in a way, yes, it is. It is another Call of Duty game, but the fact of the matter is, there is a market for the Call of Duty game type, so to speak. There is an audience for this game, and there are players who love this game to bits. And to those players, I think they already know if they are going to enjoy it or not. I specifically enjoyed the fact that the game was 1080p 60 FPS, which is something that you don't see all that often nowadays, even in the current generation of consoles, which is sometimes is disappointing that, some people don't go to the lengths of actually optimizing their games to run 1080p 60 FPS. So it's a good thing that Call of Duty is running 1080p 60, at least on the PS4. I don't know about the Xbox One or any of that. I haven't played that version. I just played the PS4 one. So I like the frame rate. I like the graphics. I think the graphics looked great. The animations also looked pretty good. I specifically like, once again, the campaign and the fact that the campaign is co-op. And I think that despite all the harsh criticism that Call of Duty constantly receives for it basically being the same game over and over, what you need to look at is the fact that it does provide a significant bang for your buck, which is something that I've always noticed since I've started, playing them on a yearly basis. I've noticed that it's like, sure, it's kind of the same thing as last time. This game feels very much like another Call of Duty game, but at the same time, it also does provide you for a lot of content for what you are paying for it. At least that's the way I personally see it. And you already know, if you're a Call of Duty player, you're going to be playing this game for the better part of a year or something. At least that's what seems to happen whenever I come across Call of Duty players. They just play this game nonstop all the time. So I don't necessarily think it's a bad investment. It's for some people. It's definitely not for everybody. And the competitive mode, it is most definitely not for me. But I like the fact that they're taking other avenues and looking at the co-op mode and the campaign so as to give other players something else that they can do where they don't feel like they're getting their asses kicked all the damn time. Anyway, this has been Rurikhan. Thank you very much for watching. Leave me your comments and feedback in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one.